Welcome everyone to this week's ECONversations in Southwest Riverside County. I want to thank Kimberly Davidson, Rob Moran, Gina Gonzalez, and Scott Agajanian for joining us this week. And if you could not guess, we have a topic that we're speaking about this week, and it is Riverside County Innovation Month. So why don't I kick it over to Rob, just like I did last time, and let Rob kick this off because this is his brainchild.
I can't speak on Innovation Month because I don't have the right background. So thank you, Patrick. And yeah, actually, it's a funny story, and I always tell it. And just like Innovation Month, activities, the way this came about was really collaborative because we've always known that Riverside County and the region is a small business county. 96% of the businesses have 50 employees or less. It's the lifeblood of our economy, from top to bottom, and supporting small businesses, both existing and new ones, is really critical. And we have this incredible, vibrant ecosystem that supports, small business growth and throughout the county in different forms and fashion. And one of the things that we've been trying to grow in Riverside County is our tech companies and our innovation companies. So a few years ago, I think it was 2016 or so, I saw that one of our economic development colleagues in, I think it was Minnesota or Wisconsin, I can't remember which, they had done this Young Professionals Week. And they did that on purpose because they were trying to keep young professionals in this town. And they were using this platform to show that, hey, there's really cool things to do. And I forgot what it was, Madison or somewhere else. And they were purposely scheduling all these different events, social as well as business, so that the local, young professionals would say, hey, there's a lot going on here in this town. We want to stay here. And so it's kind of a retention and growth platform. So I thought, that sounds like a pretty cool plan. Let's do a Riverside County Innovation Month at the time it was Riverside. Kim and I were talking, and we were at the EPIC, which was just before it was EPIC SBDC. We were at the grand opening at the County Administrative Center. And I said, hey, Kim, what do you think this idea? Because Kim is always one of those people you want to bounce ideas off of, and said, hey, what if we do Riverside County Innovation Week? And she immediately, and if you know Kim, she said, oh no, that's not going to be anywhere near enough time. We need a whole month to showcase everything that's going on in Riverside County. And I kind of thought about that for a second. I said, you're right. There's no way that we're going to be able to showcase all the great stuff we're doing and host all these different events in 1 week. And thus Riverside County Innovation Month was born. And the county sort of act as the global convener and sort of the general, group that's pushing this, but it really is a grassroots collaborative effort with the public, private sector, chambers, you name it. And it's really a series of events throughout the month, and they can be purely business oriented or also social, showcasing all the activity that's going on in Riverside County from a small business perspective and the ecosystem that supports it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be just tech or the high tech stuff that we're trying to promote in some areas. It could be everything from the person that's discovered a new way to make ice cream, or a dry cleaner, or any other type of operation that we want to celebrate and showcase that in Riverside County. And I remember we were on a Zoom the other day, and Kim reminded me that there's sort of three prongs, and I'm going to forget, I'm sure, one of them. But part of it is, if we don't convince ourselves and our residents what we're capable of doing and what we have in place, then certainly how can we convince the outside world to believe? So part of that is we have to kind of educate our residents that aren't in this space about everything that's going on and the support system. And then, because we got to believe, because if we don't believe we can do it here, then again, no one else is going to do it. And then of course it's a marketing tool for outside this region to showcase, hey, Riverside County's got its act together. It's got a lot going on. And then of course there's the pure motivation too. And I know I'm going to butcher the way that Kim represented it so eloquently, is, it's just growing the ecosystem and helping, of course, businesses here in Riverside County. So it was born. We have these events. You can go to rivcoinnovation.org rivcoinnovation.org. And Patrick, maybe one of your tech wizards will put that on the screen. And we have a calendar that showcases all the different events. We've got videos, we've got stories about entrepreneurs in Riverside County. And you can sign up for the different events. Now, one of the cornerstones of the entire month is this fast pitch competition we started. So this will be our 4th year, and there's cash prizes. It's kind of like Shark Tank, and it's regional competitions in different parts of the county that showcase. This year it's going to be tech companies, leading up to the finale where there will be cash prizes. I'm not going to say the whole thing because I know Scott and others want to talk about it. But anyway, I'm blabbering about it because I could go on and on and on, but that's Innovation Month. We're excited that I think I'm most excited about not only the purity of what it's trying to accomplish, but that so many people have really bought into it. And every year it seems to get a little bit bigger and bigger. Unfortunately, in 2020, like a lot of things, we had to, put it on pause for a year, but this year we're back and we're going virtual because we think that, hey, we can't just let another year go by. So thanks for letting me ramble on.
Good rambling. So Kim, obviously Rob referenced you a lot in there. Maybe you'd like to kind of speak a little bit to it as well as kind of where you've seen it come from and where we're at now.
Yeah, and the Rob, you got it right. The 3 legs of the purpose, I guess, are to support entrepreneurs and to support startup business and innovation in Riverside County as a whole. And number 2 is to promote internal marketing, because like Rob kind of touched on, we've got a lot of people, we've come a long way in Riverside County in building a lot of pride in being here, but it's taken us a while to get there. And so one of the things that we really wanted to do with this Innovation Month is really help build that pride for being here and show our own residents what we have going on. Because if you don't know, if you commute an hour to work every day and an hour back and you don't really have touch of what is going on in this valley, and sometimes there's no reason why you would. How would you know those things? Everyone's kind of busy leading their own lives, and that's okay. But that's where we wanted to take this opportunity to really bring to light a lot of the entrepreneurial aspects of Riverside County, all of the innovation. We have some incredible things being developed here all the time throughout many, many parts of the county. So we really wanted to shed some light on that and really give our residents an opportunity to feel a sense of pride for living here and know what their fellow neighbors and friends are working on and what we're trying to promote here. And we're still a little ways off from, really competing with Orange County, but man, we've come a long way in a very short amount of time. And the more we do this sort of thing and the more we promote it and encourage it, the closer we get every day. And then, of course, the third part was also to send a message to, say, Orange County and let them know to watch out. We're sneaking up behind you like the tortoise and the hare, and we're going to be here for the long run type of thing. But so it's really exciting because we do have so much going on in Riverside County as far as innovation and what our people are working on to create apps or to create just any kind of innovation that might answer a problem that is an everyday problem that humans are trying to work through. And we have people working on that, whether it's stem cell research, it's an app that gets you something faster and better. We've had someone that created new buns out of lettuce so that you could have your lettuce wrap without it falling apart. I mean, really, we've had a little bit of everything. And as we've held these Shark Tank events over the years, we've really had some incredible innovation. And it's my favorite month because I love the Shark Tank events. I love seeing what people are working on. And I think sometimes it's very surprising, like when we hear some of their pitches, it's like, how did you come up with that? That's so cool, And sometimes they're very simple solutions to a complex problem too. That's what makes it even better. So hopefully if people watching this know nothing else about Innovation Month in Riverside County, hopefully they at least get that there is one, number one. And number two, please join us for at least the Shark Tank events and the finale Shark Tank event that will be at the end of April, because it's just I think you'll be blown away by what your neighbors are working on and just trying to answer some complex issues with very simple solutions in a lot of cases. So it's really a lot of fun.
And if they don't join us, I would say, if anything, chime in, have your company join Innovation Month in the spirit of innovation, for companies to explore. This is a great opportunity for your team or your employees to get together and find ways to increase productivity, find, a solution to a problem in your business, or even highlight how your company is achieving or working on innovation to market your business even more so, and then also outpace your competitors. So it's a great time to really share with the community how your business is doing innovative things in your respective field. So chime in, join the conversation, and help us celebrate our, Southwest Riverside County businesses here that are doing innovative things.
Well, I think since we're going in order, I'll jump in.
Todd, is there money?
There just might be. So, but that's not the point. The point is the inherent goodness of it. It is innately good. There's a lot of very modest people on this call, but I'll say that the group that put this together has done an extraordinary job of showcasing talent that people didn't realize was here. And I think at the end of all this, Riverside County is a county with 2.6 million people with some just ridiculously talented, smart, innovative individuals. And what we weren't doing was highlighting it. What you're seeing around the county are incubators popping up and an ecosystem forming that really highlights all of the needs of growing startups from the ground up. This is what's going to take Riverside County to the next generation of businesses. You see startups all over. Riverside County's been growing in small businesses, Rob alluded to earlier, at a record-setting pace until a little bit of a hiccup in 2020. But businesses are growing here quickly because people want to live here and people don't want to commute far away. And these are the same talented people that were doing the work in Orange County and San Diego and LA. They just moved out here so they could raise a family, and now they're moving their business out here. Yep. And what you're finding is there are a ton of really, really smart, creative individuals, and the businesses just run the gamut of everything you could imagine. So Innovation Month is a great showcase, but it's a storytelling event about what is here that you didn't realize was here in the first place. The opportunity to invest in startups is right here. The opportunity to mentor a startup is right here. The opportunity to form a startup is right here. It is a really great time to be in Riverside County. And the growth we've seen in just 4 years has been unbelievable. There is a true ecosystem that is forming here that includes everything from education to mentorship to access to capital. In the city of Murrieta, we've got 9 biotech companies in our innovation center. 7 of them have received funding in the last year and a half, have received some form of major seed round funding. That's not a story that people talk about all the time because they think our businesses are stuck in the 80s, but they're really not. They really are next generation companies here, and it's just a matter of letting people know that. So, money. Innovation Month is based around a competition, a pitch competition. And what's a pitch competition without a prize at the end? So this year, we're looking to go really big. Rob suggested, hey, let's go bigger this year. And we all said, no, Rob, we can't. That's too much. Don't go crazy. But we decided to double the prize package. Yes, it was all you. And so we decided to double the prize package this year. So the grand prize winner of the pitch competition for Riverside County Innovation Month is going to win $10,000, which is an astronomical sum. And it's something that we hope people take really seriously because this is a really serious competition. There will be really good tech-based companies involved in the pitch finale. And I would expect to see some really, really great concepts that you haven't seen before. So this is all going to come to a head at the end of April. I believe it's April 28th we're targeting right now for a finale, although that date may be subject to change. But at the end of the month, you're going to see a great competition and you're going to see somebody win some real prize money. And we're hoping to get some real press out of it and let people know what kind of businesses that we have here in Riverside County.
And since this is obviously the e-conversations for Southwest Riverside County, who wants to talk a little bit about like the local pitch contest, right? So we've got local pitch contests that are going to be taking place here in Southwest Riverside County, one in Coachella Valley, one in, Riverside, Corona area, one in probably the Pass area. All of those are all run locally by the jurisdictions in those areas, but we've got one here that obviously we're very proud of having run for the last few years. But who wants to give a little more detail about it for this year?
I would be happy to jump in.
Probably Scott.
Yeah. So what's great about our area is that you've got 5 cities that all work together really, really well. A lot of the pitch and all the pitch competitions are great, but a lot of them are really kind of bigger city based. Whereas here it is Wildomar, Menifee, Murrieta, Temecula, Lake Elsinore, all in partnership to bring out all of our startups together into one space and let them pitch. I think the bandwidth you get from it is really great, because I would anticipate we're going to have a large number of applicants to come and pitch before our judges. And what we've seen in the past have been some really great stories of just a variety of concepts. What's cool about Innovation Month is it's never been just one thing. Even though the Murrieta Innovation Center, for example, focuses on biotech, it's not just 12 biotech companies coming to pitch. It is ideas that are just things you would never have thought of in a million years. And I know Rob has a story to tell us about his favorite one from the last in-person pitch competition in 2019. So what you'll find there is a great room of different types of businesses that are all, running from concept to prototype to maybe even a little bit of sales, but all very early stage startups that are just really out there trying to get in front of a crowd, get in front of judges, get feedback, and start to polish that pitch so that they can take it before major investors. And what we've seen is some of these companies that have pitched 3 years ago now have received funding from major investors. So the process works. The idea of pitching is really pitching till you make it perfect. It is really practicing and practicing and doing it over and over again until you refine it in a way that is understandable to everyone, no matter how complicated the concept you're presenting, and is very easy to digest. Sometimes people have very specific innovations, but they have to learn how to refine it to where you can explain it to somebody very quickly and very simply. And Rob, I thought you had an example of one that is like your favorite example that you would like to share.
Yeah, it is. It is. Thank you, Scott. And one of the things I think that's important about this whole pitch competition, the ecosystem education, is realizing that when you see these tech companies that are the giants in the world, the Teslas and SpaceX and all these other companies, they went through years of struggle to get to where they're at. They didn't just come up with a bright idea one day and sell it for $1 gazillion or $1 billion. It was something that they all went through these. If you remember, Tesla started off with a Roadster and they ended up shelving that. And I think it's going to come back, but it failed in terms of, becoming like a commercial success, but it helped launch them in their future endeavors. So I think it also, the whole concept of Innovation Month shows that there's a lot of hard work that these small tech companies have to go through before they have a chance to become successful. But yeah, part of also that education process, which is the story that you're referring to, was at last year's 2019, the Southwest pitch competition. There was I think 13 companies that pitched in total. And I mean, there were some really, really sophisticated high-tech genomics, bioscience companies that pitched. And there was a young man that came in, and he was I believe a community college student or a college student. And you guys, I think, slipped him in or, got him in at the last minute. And he was there with his dad. So I'm guessing he was 19, 20 years old. And he came up with an idea. He was an athlete. And he came up with an idea for a duffel bag that would remove the odors or sterilize the odors in a gym bag, right? Smells terrible in there. And he had this idea, and he lived in the Southwest area, and he and his dad, and they waited through, like 2 hours of presentations, and he'd never done this before. And it was just so touched by the fact that he went up against these people that are in these, like I said, these really high tech companies. And he got up there and shared his program. I was really proud of that, because that's exactly part of what we're trying to accomplish here. And, his dad was nervous for him. I remember talking to him outside, and, I sort of felt like, wow, this is pretty awesome, and they wouldn't have probably done something like this had their local community not put forth the effort to host this event and to encourage people to show up of all different backgrounds and different companies types. And you just never know who you're going to touch and what someday they're going to become. And, it may be something we don't even know about in the future, what we helped inspire. And I think that's exactly what we're trying to do here. So I just love that. I love telling that story. It never gets old, because that's how many more of those are out there that we're helping, that are realizing. And, the part of the message is here, you're not alone. You're not by yourself. There's a system here to support you. So don't think, they may be at home sitting there, I've got this great idea for something, but I don't know what to do with it. I don't know where to go. This is precisely designed to help, support folks like that to come out and give it a shot.
And there was an intro to, I think it was Spirit of the Entrepreneur, where they showed all of the garages where the greatest innovations in the world that have turned into multi-billion-dollar companies came from. And I realized the reason why I've never had a great innovation is I only have a carport, and therefore I'll never have one of those great ideas. But almost everybody starts at home with the thought, right? It all starts from a thought. And this young man had a thought, went far enough to make a little prototype out of it, kind of with this UV technology and how he would do this, but it was nowhere near presentable quite yet. But the concept was there, and he had that seed in his head, right? And so having that opportunity to pitch and get positive feedback and good support, I think it can be huge towards planning it and helping it to turn into something really cool.
You're exactly right, Scott. It was a thought mixed with action. You have to have that action element. Otherwise, the thought just stays bouncing around in your head. And that's where we're helping to encourage the action part of things, and hopefully they go on, even if they don't win the pitch competition, or we're still putting them in contact with the right people so that they can keep going on through the process, and encouraging that action to keep taking place. Because eventually someday, if you have a good enough thought and you have the right amount of action, it will eventually take hold and become something important.
Kim, you touched on something really, really important. And you see that a lot kind of in the entrepreneurial space, is taking action. You have to take that first step. You can sit at home all day long. You can watch Netflix. You can do all these things. But if you don't take that first step, it may not go any further than that. But if you don't take that first step, you're guaranteed it's never going to go anywhere. So taking that action and letting people know that there's services and support near them is really, really key. But at the end of the day, they got to take action. So give it a shot, investigate. You're never going to lose anything by doing that.
Yeah. And you touched on the ecosystem, right, that's being built. And I think the thing that goes along really well with this is that, this group has also been working on this idea of Invest Southwest, right? This idea of how do we encourage those here to invest in those locally? Gina, do you want to kind of give us a little bit about Invest Southwest and see who else wants to pitch in on that?
Not a problem. So collectively, we're taking concepts and we're creating an investment portfolio for folks to join in on, and really being able to, what is the word I'm looking for? Be philanthropic. And if you're a local person, or even if you're not, and you want to see what is really out there and being able to invest in some really cool ideas and businesses, there is a movement around our 5 cities to create events and these mini Shark Tanks, so to speak, that are really a VIP status type of event, where you'll be pitched some of the best and the brightest that is out from Southwest Riverside County, and being able to really do some good with your investment. Scotty boy over here, he's leading that effort up too.
So, wow. Haven't heard that for 42 years. So, I think most of the people who moved to Riverside County in some form or another came here thinking this is a great real property investment value for me, right? Or for my family. I can buy a house here. I can get some land here. I can raise my family here. And there's a lot of value to that investment. And I think what we're trying to remind people is the equal value, and maybe even more so, is found in intellectual property. So that those who came here and said, I bought a house here and moved here 5 years ago, and I did really, really well. Why don't you start to turn some of the other investments that you have outside of the region inland, and start to look at us and look at this region and look at our businesses as a place to store some of that investment, because there are untapped resources here. Look, these companies are investable because they're finding investment from Silicon Valley, from all kinds of other spaces. But if you're not looking at them, you would have first dibs on a lot of these opportunities. So there is an investment portfolio in our backyard, which I think you highlighted perfectly, Gina. There's an investment portfolio here that people aren't paying attention to because so much of their focus goes towards looking over the hill instead of looking right back down at us.
And some of these businesses, they have additional ideas that are looking for, like you said, some of that seed money, but they're already successful in other ways. So, you know, they're kind of fell safe in a sense, just already locally here. So when you're looking for something, you know, behind versus some people don't like taking risks and some do, right? So some ideas are 100% risk and some have less. But so some of those businesses that have already have proven themselves, I mean, I just want to point out that the gamut is from one end to the other with the type of businesses that are part of this discussion. So, and then we're putting that together. That's going on, and we're talking about end of April as well as part of Innovation Month. So if you'd like to be on that really cool VIP list, of the who's who, hit up Patrick, hit up Scott, hit up Kim, hit up Rob, hit up myself, or Christine, and then also Justin with Lake Elsinore. And we'd be more than happy to add you to that VIP list. As I said, it's a lot of fun. So, and it's exciting stuff.
Yeah, we'll drop the web addresses. We've got, well, one of them's right here. You've got, you know, for Innovation Month. Thank you, Rob. We'll also
Absolutely.
have, yeah, Kimberly does it way better than I do.
It's backwards, so you have to really mess with your.
But we'll also put in the information. We do have the address for the website for Invest Southwest and for more information and how to get involved. So we're very much looking forward to that. So definitely want to get as many people involved this year as we can. So reach out to us, get involved, get engaged, see what's going on and see how this ecosystem is growing immensely and how you can be a part of it. So I want to thank you guys again for joining us this week for our eConversations. Tune in next week and we'll have another good topic to talk about. So everyone have a great week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.